Okay. Employee engagement survey. All right.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for. Actually, the
Okay.
others are not here yet. Liz and also Tara, and also Fira. So we'll have to announce it later, right, Chilling?
Yes, please. Is it better to announce like at the start or like at the end
Uh,
or in the middle?
you can just put it on the discussion management board, and then I'll read
Ah,
it for you later so that you can go on with your day.
okay, sure. Thank you.
Yep, all good, Chilling. Okay, so where's everyone? I'll try to ping everyone again. I think on this station. Channel. Canvassing, sir.
A little bit canvassing and also looking around and seeing what's going on in the neighborhood. Um,
Yep,
my days are a little bit more open now, so I figure every day I spend outside the office, I can at least see what's going on in the field.
yep. How
And
does it look like, sir?
it's pretty depressing out here, actually. It's very, very quiet. You walk in, I mean, it's a little bit bizarre. I can't quite figure it out yet, Viddy. So, certain places will just swell up at certain times of the day. So, I'll give you an example. Last week we were in Canggu, and so during Friday night, everything was packed. Right?
Yep.
It looked like everybody was out spending money. Then Saturday, everything was nothing. Next day. So it's a little bit bizarre. It's almost like this. One thing I've noticed though, this is very interesting. The audience is very price driven. Whoever's giving a deal gets all the business for that day. So on Wednesday, there's this place called the Forge, and they give chicken wings for and they get basically everybody. I think everybody who's
Yep.
left over goes there to do the chicken wings and beer. And then the next day, somebody else will give a deal. The next day, somebody else will have a deal. So whoever is doing a deal will essentially draw what's remaining of the residential market of the club. So I think that's what it looks like. It looks like a magnet, and occasionally you pull it through like some hay and you put together the needles. But otherwise, you can't find any of the needles that way.
Interesting insight. That's actually really interesting. Yep. Anyway, since everybody is here, thank you very much, sir, for sharing about the experience in your area. And we'll start our scrum. Today I'll be chairing, and Joseph will be my secretary. Beware that Joseph's area is actually undergoing heavy rain, and the light might turn off anytime. So if he's gone, then maybe someone needs to cover for him. Okay, thank you very much, Fira. Also, thank you for coming. Fira is actually having class, I believe, according to her calendar, but she came. So to start the scrum for today, we have actually, if we look at our campaign, just to summarize a little bit of our campaign, we have five active campaigns right now, with varying degree of performance. The first, we have Airbnb opportunity as the highest priority, followed by Facebook Pro listing, which also contribute to agent sales. And also we have Instagram campaign that was a dark horse in a sense that it suddenly was brought in as a campaign. And we see that there's a new active campaign called Booking.com. I believe it's championed by Lilis. So the stats are all there. Please take a look at it if there are any insights, and please put them in the discussion management board. But for now, we'll have to move to each person's update, starting with Lilith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I've made a new card basically. This is regarding social media listening because previously we used this as production, but no transaction yet happened. So I pause it and I decide to make it as an MVP first because previously I don't document any activity for this, but directly go to production. So today I make this card and set a certain target. For example, like result in 4 transaction for within a month and contribute about 800 USD revenue within a month. So if the target is not achieved, then I'll turn down this MVP basically uh, and not sending it into production.
I see.
Then the activity is
Yep.
five outreach per day, and that's the statistics. First day statistics. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Liz. So this MVP will span until the end of the month, I assume, right?
Yes, October 31st.
I see. Okay, thank you, Liz. Maybe any questions for Liz's initiative right now? No questions. If there are no questions, then we'll move on. Thank you, Liz, to Fidis Pivot. There's an update on the B52. Basically, we've launched, I think, another three listings. So we have six listings in total in Traveloka. The conversation and also the meeting notes with Traveloka channel manager can be seen in the activity. The initialization of the pricing posture that was in a sense like promotion will be conducted latest by this week. Our target, I think, it's three bookings with Traveloka this month. So three bookings because just to be realistic, because we're not actively like there's no way for us to actively search the market. So we try to do promotions and stuff like that. But if there are any objections to that three bookings, or maybe raise it like to five bookings. Any questions?
How many? Quick question, Vidi. How many listings do we plan to put on Traveloka?
The plan is to actually like increase like three listings each week, and we also monitor the community list. From the community list of outreach to owners that
Okay.
mention about Traveloka or other OPs. That's the one that we will
Okay,
prioritize.
first, yeah. Okay, got it. And then, okay, let me spin this in my head again. So, you're gonna be bringing in three listings a week. So the bookings per week, is it all together in the entire campaign, or is it across each listing or each round of listings?
Gather through all the campaigns there, because actually in the past 2 weeks that we have free listings, there are no bookings yet.
I see. Okay. I'll just ask the question. Is that a little bit not ambitious enough, because you're going to be putting up like quite a lot of listings, I suppose, and you're expecting to get about, I guess, I don't know, like in a week, if you're putting up three listings a week, probably get 12 listings a month from 12 listings. Is that a correct way to understand that?
Yeah, that's actually the plan, but we have to reconsider, I think, because of the number of bookings and also the number of the intricacies in the system that we do not have an integrated system we can eat.
Okay. What is the
So
okay?
currently, Andre is
Oh, go ahead.
currently Andre is the one who manage
Okay. Let's do this. Do we have the
Yep.
secretary there? Maybe we can discuss about what the trade-offs are between, let's say, launching something, and what sort of results we would need to see to decide whether or not to scale it or to shrink back on it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Okay.
very much, sir. So, secretary, could you help to write that in the discussion?
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
All right. And for BI E0, the activity is constant as usual. There are no notable updates for now. Next to Joseph Pivot.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So for the task, I'm not for the catalog. I have no progress for that because yeah, I'm working with finance and the campaign for,
Okay.
and yeah, no more updates.
All good. Just don't forget to write no update next time. All right, Joseph?
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Chair.
Joseph. Okay, next to Tara's Pivot then.
Okay, thank you. Well, I guess first with the website campaign over at DM. Well, we are seeing like in a decrease in like, I mean, yeah, the decrease in the bounce rate coming from like the Google Ads traffic. It's a slow decrease, but it is happening. So I guess that is a good sign. However, I think we still need to, I guess I need to assist Masrizal in finding like an even more optimal like keyword, as well as the demographic, because I still don't think it's like the one yet, because it could be lower, I think. So yeah. And however, the people who are coming in through the Google Ads traffic, they are like on average, apparently, they are staying a minute longer than people from organic traffic, which was surprising. So yeah, I just think it can just be further improved. So I will work on that over at the with the DM members, team members. And yeah, and then regarding my Instagram professional networking later today at, well, it's like at 1:30 p.m. for me. So that's like 7:30 Bali time. I will be like, there will be a professional networking session with Laura Novak, who's like, she's very well versed in social media strategies and stuff like that. So if you have an interest or would like to learn more about it, feel free to, you can check my calendar, or you can like or there's a
Right, right.
paper in my cards, so feel free to, take a look there, add any questions, and
Yep.
yeah, that's pretty much
Thank
for
you
my
very
update.
much,
Thank
Tara, for the update.
you.
Actually, for BIC 10, so this optimization process, there's actually a funnel for it specifically in marketing, right? Right.
Yes.
Maybe for next time, could you help us to like just copy paste or copy paste the file so
Oh,
that we can
there's a
see
lot
the
of,
numbers,
oh,
or at least
yeah.
you mentioned that there are there's a reduction of bounce rate, and that's good. But please
Right.
write the like note the numbers so
Yeah.
that we can also see. Even though I believe it might be in the evidence, just please do write it on your
Yeah.
activity.
Okay, okay. Do you want me to copy paste
Yeah,
them?
you can copy
So
paste the funnel,
then,
or you can anything that is considered related to your initiative this time, like the bounce rate,
okay,
the improvement in bounce rate, like how much, and so on and so forth.
okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Will
Thank you,
do.
Tara. Maybe any more questions for Tara's update? Yes, no questions. Okay, if there are no questions, then we can. There are no updates. There are no cards in messaging private. But do you have anything to update, sir, for the team?
Nope, nothing on my side.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. Then next to Mo Wayan's update.
Okay, my update is I get one more additional from the IG Bukit Vista for freelancer. But actually we got a lot of freelancer, but like in term of what you call in term of
Conversion.
property, I don't get many property. So many people applying, okay, and then I give the orientation. This is this is how you get good property. This is not to do like basically like orientation. What it. I want you doing good. This is the orientation. Maybe we can do it in the discussion. Maybe you have some trick how to motivate these people.
Yep. For sure, for sure. If we see that there are freelancers, but there are less conversion, then maybe we have to evaluate the system of orientation, or maybe the system that we teach them, or whatever we tell them to do.
Yeah.
So it's a matter. But and thank you very much. So yeah, Joseph, please make sure that it's already written in the discussion management board. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary, and thank you very much, Mowayan. Any questions for Mowayan? None. If there are none, then we can move to Fira's private. Fira, can you speak right now, or you can just tell us that if you can speak?
Yeah. So thank you. I would like to updates for. I would like to tell my updates on my private cards. So I got the first one is the intern orientation, which actually it has to be done by October 19th, but Kalis asked Shalin to extend it because I need to focus on the second task, which is the strikingly long term page. So it's uh, the intention is to redesigning the strikingly web interface, and I will be working with Kalis also, Mas Gani, regarding the that he's the marketing chapter also. And so this is actually related to the project that I proposed on the trial program, and I've put some evidence there, as some evidence, and also the design workspace, which is the online one, and I'm using Figma. So if you guys want to see what I'm doing in the design, in what I'm designing, you can click on that one. And I've got the access to Strikingly. Also, I'm still trying to understand how Strikingly work. And yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
I see. Okay, thank you very much. Just to double check with Lilith, so this is a task, Lilith, right? Not an initiative, or not a pivot. Sorry, or would this be
Mm,
a pivot?
Basically, this is a short, like I call it a task because the project is actually designing the WordPress one. So
I see.
this one is the, because we already have the long term rental page, but it needs what is that, optimization. And then if we see any higher traffic or any transaction, and then we will go back and make like initiative for this
Okay.
striking. But if not, we'll go to WordPress basically.
Okay, noted. Yeah, just make sure that there are some documentation on like the numbers before and after, so that we know for sure, like based on the evidence that we can proceed with the pivots. But thank you very much, Lilis, and also Fira. Any question for Fira's task and also initiatives? None. If there are none, actually, that's all for the Scrum. Maybe anybody else have anything to say for the Scrum? None. If none, Mr. Secretary, could you please read the meeting notes? Yep.
Okay, sorry, I forgot I muted.
Okay, all good, all good.
Okay, so for the opening, CD said that we currently have 5 campaign running, and there's one new campaign which is the Booking.com. And for the update from Lilis, she's trying to re-MVP the social media listing project to test it again whether or not it should remain in production or being shut down completely. And it will be run till 31st October 2020. And for VD, for the Traveloka initiative, he is targeting 3 bookings from Traveloka this month. And Mr. Jing asked how many property will be listed in Traveloka. And I'm not really sure what is the answer, but I believe it's based on Traveloka performance. And there will be sub discussion on whether or not we should take this initiative more resource on. And for me, there is no update. For Tara, from the website campaign, there is decrease in the rate from Google Ads traffic. And also for the professional networking, there will be a session at 7 p.m. Bali time. For Jing, there's no update. For Wayana, he got one additional freelancer from IG, and she has so many freelance, yet so few properties. And she asked for discussion on how to motivate freelance. While for Vira, she extend the first task due date due to focus on second task. And she will be working with Kalis and Kagani on the second task. And she's still understanding how strikingly works. Yeah, that's all. Do I miss something?
Okay, just please take note that initially the target for Traveloka is 3 per week, but it is still debatable and will be reconsidered back with the team.
Oh, okay.
Right. I think that's it. No more correction. Thank you very much, Joseph. I will share my screen again and we will move to see some of the stats that we have. Um, all right. Yeah. Okay. So for the stat itself, monthly revenue, it's already the month of October and it's 7th of October. We've produced around 3,000 from the initial, but I believe in the initial one is 15,000 ish. So there's a small degree of cancellation there. But we're seeing that in the first week we have a lot of there's a according to the law of the left lobe and the right lobe, there's actually an increase in the in month revenue. And also, it's important to take notice that apparently we previously set the rates for our COVID flat price until to 20th of December. And apparently, we kind of guessed quite correctly that there's a small local maxima in the December for Christmas and also New Year. This could potentially lead for another spike when we go in the month of December. But for the revenue managers, could maybe we would should reconsider to like check the prices for Christmas and also New Year. That's that. And also actually for the first 6 days of our of the month of October, we're seeing a weaker number of booking compared to September and also October and November. But the short margin by like 14 short compared to the month of September, and about 7 or 8 short compared to the month of in August. And for squad revenue growth, we're seeing the same similar patterns as before, as the usual. Squad one, squad area one, area two, area three, and area four aligns as usual. We have at 9,900 and 5,000 and also 1,600 and also 281. But what's interesting is in the next 3 months, we look at the month of December. Actually, we have a spike in Squad 1, Area 1. This is probably due to exits and also New Year. And also, Area 1 is populated mostly by villas. So that's new. That's that. And also, for I believe in the reservation chapter, here the inquiry conversion rate is recorded as 4.76, but we will look at the redash data to be sure because as this, I think I've discussed this before with this. Actually, BI is currently the client of product development in trying to revamp the visualization because we believe that there might be some discrepancies in the data displayed, basically. That's one of the initiative of product development this month. And also for content chapter, again, if we look at the number of instant books for last month, it's actually 82.28%, and this month is still at, it's a bit hazy, but it's also in around 82% ish. But this covers both Airbnb and non-Airbnb bookings. So that's that. And also, I believe what's important is in the coronavirus monitoring, we're seeing a cancellation pace that is a lower cancellation pace, cancellation value. That's one good thing. We're seeing less and less number of cancellation in the back here, I believe. Yep. And also for the origin, the guest origin, we're still seeing the same pattern as Q3, which in Q4 we have Indonesia at the top spot and also United States in the second, I believe. Let's see. Yep, Indonesian, United States, and also Germany. So yeah, the pattern still persists, and we should probably still focus on domestic guests, I believe. Maybe in the bigger beefy analytics, anyone got any insights before we move on to the next analytics? None? Okay, if there are none, actually, what's also interesting is I would like to try something new. We look at the redash data that we're actually looking for the campaign because we have more visibility there. In the past 5 days, in the past 6 days, since the first of October, actually there's a surge in inquiry, and I believe people that observe in the Slack channel also noticed that there's a surge of inquiry yesterday. So from the 1st of October, it's we have 132 inquiries, and that's partly because there is a blockage in Wayana's profile from parser data, and then we release the blockage, and that's why the inquiry starts again. And the recorded received one is starting from yesterday, I believe. But actually, this might be distributed back till September. But it's important for us to keep it in our database. So this is one example of the discrepancy of data. But here we can see from Airbnb, Booking.com, and Direct the contribution of each inquiry conversion and also instant books compared to the number of inquiries. And then for the booking checkouts and also the converted to revenue and no review, we have actually it's interesting that we have 4 review for and 8 no review. Lately, the number of review conversion have been increasing in Airbnb. And actually, I wanted to point out regarding this in the month of September 2020, actually our conversion rate for request to book is only 55%. And this has been investigated by Andre, I believe. And one of the major reason is actually our response time is also pretty quick, but for some reason it just got hanged in the transfer process, I believe. Uh, but this is something to note because this is potential revenue from 22 requests. We only converted 12 requests. So yes, this is something new. New stats. And although the visualization is still mostly numbers, but I believe everyone here is capable of analyzing this, and we'll have to work on the visualization. Maybe any questions for this data, for the inquiry data?
Yeah, Vidi.
Yes.
You go first. So basically, we had a lower conversion rate in September than we thought, right? Because if we just had more inquiries show up and the number of bookings remained the same, then the actual inquiry conversion was actually a bit lower then, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
I will take that into consideration when updating the campaign because I know how many inquiries actually lags in the inquiry funnel.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
And did Andre get back to us on what is the primary cause of the unconverted requests?
So the initial verdict was from the waiting to transfer, sir. But for the further discussion, it has not been done yet, and I will give him my heads up today.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. So that's a little bit. Actually, if you see in the month of August, our conversion rate is 17%. So this was kind of like a blind spot, but in the mid of September, we kind of like, and it's not been noted, I think, for the rest one, for the rest. But okay, thank you very much. So no, any insights for the stats? Anything you'd like to see? None? Okay, so I think that kind of like covers also for the inquiry. Finally, we will try to look a little bit since we have 1 more minute till 4 and another half an hour for discussion. We will try to see the inquiry phase in a more in Tableau. Okay, so let's try to actually refresh this one. Yep. So yeah, you guys can see there's a sudden spike here because of the release of the blockage. And actually, I tried to update the CSC list, but somehow it doesn't appear. And the number of guest house ratio to the property popular type ratio is still pretty similar, and also the popular area is also pretty similar. We have a lot of inquiries in Yogyakarta. So this was interesting about Yogyakarta. Actually, we have the number of bookings and also the number of inquiry in Yogyakarta is a lot, but the value itself is not that much. So one, I think there was an attempt to acquire more properties in Jogja. So that's one attempt from the Jogja region. Maybe from Lilis or from anybody else, any comments on the stats for this one?
For the stats or the statements that you just mentioned.
The stats and also the statement in general.
Uh, yeah, actually, I don't know. Like previous month, I also mentioned about acquiring more properties in Jogja since we also have like Gani or Andre, and I heard also from Andre that Andre on board one new properties, I guess in Jogja, but I don't know the what is that the performance of that new property. Perhaps we can monitor it if we make the Airbnb listing. Can we have like pretty fast booking from first booking from that, so that's maybe one consideration between bandwidth and also a new property in Jogja,
I
perhaps
see.
on site.
Understood, Lilis. Yeah, that will be good. Um, So yeah, maybe just to confirm with Mawayan, the new property in Jogja is been onboarded, right, Mawayan? You're muted. Sorry, Mawayan.
Um, I think the one Andre meant for the property is Pondok Ijo, but Pondok Ijo actually not onboarded yet because they still they have a partner still discuss. But I will follow up with Andre and the owner then.
Okay, thank you very much, Mawayan, for that one. And if we're done with the stats, we can move on with the discussion management. We have quite a lot of discussions, and there is actually one left over from the previous Scrum regarding the performance of the prediction and also the prediction for this month. So last month, September, actually the percentage error is negative 13.743, which is actual than prediction of winter holds, but still within the SLA. If this uses the Holt Winters T2, but if this were to use T12, the error will still be 14.969. And next this month, for the month of October, the model predicted 26,698 with a margin of error 15%. That I believe if it's 15%, that would almost reach 33,000. So that's the prediction for this month, and we will evaluate it at the end of the
Vicky,
month. Yes, sir.
I have a question. This is an interesting one.
Yep.
So, does Holt Winters is it able to predict 2 or 3 months in advance?
Yes.
Okay. What I would like to know is this video. What I'd like to know is, well, I don't know if we can go back in time, but if we went back to September 1st, what would Holt Winters have said are
About October.
October? Yes,
Yep.
exactly. What
Okay. Sure. I will provide the data by this evening after the
okay,
scrum.
good. And similarly, since it's October, let's see what Holt Winters would say about November,
November.
December, and Cup, right? And this
Okay.
let us know if we're beating the prediction or behind the prediction.
Okay, noted, sir.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, I will provide the data. Mr. Secretary, could you please note that FIDI will provide the data for that one, and also the RMSA and the MAP is also noted below. And next, I think there are some discussion by Mr. Jing, but maybe this could be short one about from Lilis from regarding the uniform reporting format.
I saw this notes from Joseph's agent sales campaign. Basically, when Mr. Jing said that the report is not as the other campaign. So yesterday, I took a discussion with Joseph and also learned how to report basically. So my proposal is for the result update can be like that. So it's also in discussion, right? Whether we would like to report the difference or the percentage of change. That's discussion, but my proposal is the difference because it is easier to see, and also we can know how far our target from 100% conversion from previous to next funnel, and then that's the result update screenshot, basically up, down, and the same percentage. Yeah, that's from my side.
Okay, so it's still open for discussion or it's the
Yes,
final?
still open for discussion.
Okay, maybe anyone from the floor would like to pitch in some opinion on this method of data collection. Or the percentage difference between different current, not the percentage of change. Yes, so this is the one that is like, if today is 32% for the conversion rate and tomorrow is 34%, then the increase will be 1%, right?
Yes, correct.
So not the value change, right?
Not
Okay.
the percentage of difference. I don't know how to say
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Actually, I second that because at first I that's what I did, right? And then there's a discussion about the magnitude. I thought about it, and if the numbers is big, the number will grow like 1,000, for example, and the increase will be like 1,010. So the increase is only like 10 out of 1,000, for example. So the value will itself will diminish. But previously, the consideration was because Kalgani actually converted like a lot from 30 to 40 to 60, if I'm not mistaken, and there's a like 30% increase or something like that. But it's because the number is small to begin with in the beginning. So if it grows, then another 20 will diminish, uh, and at some point it will plateau, I think. So anyone got any opinion on this one? Yes, sir.
Okay. No, I think that's fine. If we just agree that we're measuring the difference in percentage rather than the quotient, then so be it. Yeah, I think that's fine. And my suggestion is actually this. Just at the top of the funnel, Lilith, right on the agents reached. I think we should also on that maybe just measure the straight amount of activity, right? What's the change? Because that number will always be higher and higher and higher. There won't be any percentage intelligence from that particular figure. So that number just needs to, or actually, I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. Should we measure the percentage? Should we be accelerating the amount of outreach at each interval to keep a constant growth? Hmm. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Mm,
imagine?
I see, I see. I understand what
For the,
what.
only for the top funnel, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the top funnel is should that just be measured as a simple difference between what the total is from each interval, or should it be measured as a percentage? If it's measured as a percentage, of course, it will be always diminishing as
Yes.
as we go along in time. It'll shrink. But actually, for the time being, maybe just okay. I'll offer my suggestion. My suggestion is just we just keep a difference. It's just a straight difference, no percentage. So
Yep.
we can see at least some activity has happened in the top of the funnel.
Okay. So offer the difference, not the
Yeah,
percentage on the top of the funnel, right?
yeah.
Noted, sir. Okay. So
Oh, I
let's.
think it's really good. This is a
Yeah.
really good format of reporting. It really allows very quick identification of what's
Yep.
going on. Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I think. So Lilith, that's the final verdict.
I guess because this is the agent, right? So Joseph, you have to offer to Joseph.
Oh, but
Yes.
it will be applied to all of our campaigns, right?
No, I mean for the first funnel, the top funnel, the A, right? For the,
Yes.
it's the only the difference
Yeah,
between
Yes.
uh 54 and 18. Is that
yeah.
Oh no. Wait.
no?
Uh,
I
For
don't really
minus 18.
get it actually. I mean, for example, like yesterday I reached out to 50 and then today is 54. So
Oh, it's
I
got four,
report
right?
4,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
yeah.
Correct.
Every 4. Okay. But for the other funnel, should it be percentage or
Still percentage, right, sir?
Yeah.
still percentage? All
Yes.
right, right. Okay, okay. Got it, got it.
Okay.
Sure.
So for the funnel, the campaign managers, Joseph and Lilith, and myself, do we understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we understand. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, that's one. And actually, there's a lot of question. Actually, not a priority. Actually, I would like to discuss about Mr. Jinx because it relates to the campaign. So Mr. Jing asked, maybe Sir could you lead this one for this discussion?
Sure. This is related to our Facebook campaigns at the moment, and I'm just trying to think of new ways to essentially get that cycle rolling, right? So we've got a lot of people that have already stayed with us on Airbnb, and I'm thinking it might be helpful to ask these guests that have stayed with us in the past to just help us out, right? Like, hey, would you mind posting your review on Facebook, right? So that so that we get a little bit more coverage on Facebook as well. So there's a few reasons why we want to do that, everyone. The first reason why we want them to post on Facebook is that it helps improve our Facebook profile. The second reason is that what happens is that Facebook has this really cool feature. I've been discussing it, I think, this morning with a few people. It's called a lookalike audience. So a lookalike audience is exactly what it sounds like, right? So Facebook can go and target people who look like people who give reviews to you, right? Or people who have liked your page. So the idea behind this is that the more engagement we get with the kinds of people who have actually stayed with us, the easier it becomes for us to um, advertise on Facebook. So this is part of that idea. Um, I don't know if there's much to discuss. It seems like there's no harm in trying it at this point, but it's
Yep.
more about like who's gonna do it, I guess. So
Yep.
that's and if it's a priority, I guess at the moment. So that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Since it relates to Facebook and Airbnb, maybe first I would like to ask to Lilith, as the campaign manager. What do you think, Lilith?
Mm, actually, that could be a good idea. I mean, nothing's wrong with that. The problem is only is the guest willing to write or whatever. But uh, other things that I remember from the previous discussion on the campaign from Andre, I guess I don't know who's misunderstand, but from Andre's perspective, I think that posting the Airbnb review like we are doing on Instagram, not writing it down by ourselves. That's what Andre means basically. That
Correct.
that I understand previously. But for your idea of reaching back the previous guest, it can it good, but we have to try on how effective it will going basically.
Yep. So it's to sort of sum up, Instagram and Facebook both rely on the same audience. They have the same advertising tools at the back end. So the idea right now is this: um, most of our review energy is on Airbnb, and that review energy isn't doing us too much good at this moment, right? So if we have detected that we're getting a significant and potential number of bookings from Instagram and Facebook, then we need to kind of transfer that energy over to these platforms so that we can start that that sort of that positive feedback cycle that will grow the I guess visibility of each profile to a wider audience. So it is uh, it's how would I so this is what I would actually request. I would request. I'll give you a definite block. About 5 hours of time from perhaps an intern to just go back to all the air support groups that we've had with previous guests, and then just drop a template into those groups. Right? Like, hey, this is me again, Bukit Vista from your trip in Bali. Here's a link to Facebook, and would you mind leaving us a review on Facebook to help us, through these difficult times? We would really appreciate that. So essentially, it's just copy paste, copy paste. After we spent 5 hours on it, what I'm hoping to see is a few things. I'm hoping to see if it works. There's no reason we should not just keep on getting more reviews on our Facebook, right? There's all kinds of good benefits to that. The more we do that, the more Facebook can start identifying the types of people, similar to the types of people who traveled with us, to advertise to them in the future. It makes the whole thing easier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick question actually regarding the forwarding to air support groups. Do you want it to be like personalized using their names or just a copy paste thing? Because if you just want to copy paste without their names, you can just forward the message to like all the groups.
Oh, it's actually we don't even need their names. We just need to go back to the groups video and just
Yes.
send them a message, right?
Oh
Just
yeah,
say,
then you
hey,
can just forward it, right, sir? You don't have to go to each group. You just can click, 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 just checklist the groups. There's a broadcast message feature in WhatsApp.
oh, I did not know we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Either way,
yeah.
either way,
I think is familiar with that one.
sure.
Yeah,
Either way,
so yeah, at this point, I think it's already agreed, and it just depends on which HR intern we can delegate this one to. From BI, Lilis, do you want to like make sure it works, or do you want to delegate like to other BI member to make sure it is done?
Actually, I'll be the one that delivered to Cynthia, and
Yeah.
we'll still coordinate, but this is not in the funnel. I mean,
Yep. It's like a
yeah,
task, right?
checking the system
Yep.
whether it is work or not.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Liz. Joseph, please take a note on that conclusion. Next,
Wait,
there's more.
Lewis,
Yes, sir.
if I may, I believe it is actually part of the funnel, right? One of the parts of the funnel is to try to get as high
Loyal.
a conversion rate as possible on reviews. So if we do this, we can get above 100% on the review rate, which would be pretty astounding. Oh,
But if the checkout is basically not from this campaign, is that, I mean, is that problem?
I think it's
It's
okay. I think it's okay, and the reason why is this. Essentially, essentially, the way I see it, it's like a, how do you call it? It's supposed to be a feedback loop, right?
Yep.
So you get an inquiry through Facebook, the inquiry checks out successfully, they leave a review, you get more exposure on Facebook the next time, right? But this is sort of like you're sort of preloading exposure from good deeds that you've done in the past. So by doing that, you're effectively taking past karma and then you're banking on it today. So it supports that cycle by sort of moving this past energy into the present. So I think it can still be part of the campaign. It still has, in fact, it accelerates the campaign, right? It
yes, yes.
accelerates the yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's it's very much a way to the louder the bike, the smaller the dick. Okay, that was a funny comedy joke that I've heard on. Okay, anyway, so right, where am I? No, so this very much is just a suggestion for how to enhance that SLA, that layer of the funnel. Lewis, yeah,
Okay, sir, noted.
Okay.
thank you.
So if that's clear, actually there are some duplicates, right? Duplicate discussion that have already been discussed. Actually, this one is interesting. Actually, this relates to the chapter itself. Wait, let's talk about the campaign first. So, messaging us, how often should we change the rank of chapter campaign? Right?
Yeah.
Yesterday, this was part of the discussion, and some recommends like maybe each month or something. Maybe anyone wants to pitch in.
Okay,
Okay,
Lewis
let's.
first. Lewis first.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we like point at someone to ask for their opinion. But let's try from Vera. Do you have any opinion on this one, Vera?
Um, Actually, not yet. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't joined the cross chapter campaign Scrum, right?
Yeah, I haven't joined that one.
I see. Okay, no worries. Yeah. So next to Tara.
I was thinking maybe every 2 weeks, maybe, just because I don't know. I thought once a month was a bit too long, especially because we want to see how effective. I feel like 2 weeks is just a good balance between like just 1 week and then a month. I don't know. This is a nice time period, and you can quick. I think it's faster to see like the effects or like what's going on with campaign over 2 weeks, because like if it's a month, I don't know, like it'll be like November by the time we do that, right? So like doesn't that seem too long if you think of it that way? Yeah.
Yep. Noted. That could be a consideration every 2 weeks. So that's from Tara. From Joseph.
Maybe once a month, because maybe in a month we can really see whether or not that campaign is performing. So it will be more consistent maybe. So yeah, that's for my thought.
Once a month, every 2 weeks. From my side, I think twice a month because in leadership, actually we have a schedule for twice a month discussion for KPI, right?
Mm,
And at that point, I think it's also safe to reshuffle campaigns according to how we assess our KPI is doing. Basically, that could be one measurement. Maybe next to um, Mawaya, Lilis, maybe Lilis. What do you think, Lilis?
Yeah, I mostly agree with you and Tara, because I also think that we want to record or recap the sales SLA data twice a month, right? So this can be a good timing also for prioritization of a campaign.
Okay, thank you, Lilis. Maybe to Mawayan.
I can agree more like twice twice a month instead, so that if something that not toward to the favor that we wanted, we can pivot.
Okay, so Dito. Then maybe to Mr. Jing finally.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good figure for now. Um, I'm thinking in the back of my head, the more accurate way eventually to do it is probably to estimate what is the lag time between action and result. And to be frank, I think different type of campaigns would have different lag times, right?
Yep.
So let's say you did an Instagram campaign.
It's okay.
Instagram should be fast, right? So Instagram should be kind of like you do something and you can kind of see a result. So if Instagram isn't showing results in a very fast way, then there needs to be a good explanation for why, right? Maybe it's seasonal. Okay, all right. Then we run it for 2 weeks. We run it for a week this month, run it for a week next month. So I think it really depends really on the sort of the lag time, right,
Yep.
between when we apply. But let's just say for right now, 2 weeks is fine. I think 2 weeks is good. Uh-huh.
Yeah. For now, actually, quick question. Like, do you see any campaigns that has a lag time that could potentially be longer than 2 weeks, sir?
Uh, Traveloka.
Yeah, Traveloka for
Yeah,
sure. Okay.
Traveloka probably will take a while for us to,
Yeah.
because we have no momentum on Traveloka, right? So
Yep.
it will take a bit longer, but I don't know. Yeah. Let's say this, right? Let's say if you did some ad campaign, if you did an ad campaign for, yeah, yeah, it should be okay. Yeah, yeah, 2 weeks is fine. 2 weeks is
2 weeks
fine.
is fine, right? Yeah. Maybe yeah. Tara, do you have any more to add?
I just wanted to add, just I don't know if this relates to this specific topic, but in the session with Gary, he mentioned how like they have like a look back window of like 28 days or something like that for Instagram or something. So
Good
I
point.
don't know if we could like remind ourselves of that, just
Yes,
at least regarding Instagram.
yes,
Like,
yes.
should we really focus, like should we really think results that aren't like fast are like, that means there's nothing converting or something like that. Yeah, just wanted to remind
Good
everybody
point.
if
Good
that
point.
helps.
That's good.
Yep. Good point. Thank you for the reminder. Actually, this brings up like another top. But I believe, yeah. Thank you very much for the reminder. That could be the consideration when assessing the campaigns. Like every 2 weeks, we should
Oh,
also remind ourselves that one. But again, for the lag time, actually, if it's 28 days, right? Even if it goes down the ranking, like in the middle of the month, but the lag time will enable it to be boosted in the end of the month,
yeah,
right?
that's true. That makes sense.
So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, but thank you very much for the reminder,
No,
Tara.
no problem.
Okay, maybe this is an interesting topic actually. Let me see a little bit. Whales, dolphin, and tuna. Okay, that one's also interesting. But okay, maybe quick one from Lilis. HR asked BI to be responsible for finance system efficiency.
Yeah, that's basically the files. Shalene actually contacted me that uh, we're responsible for the efficiency of the finance system. I read that, yeah. Why I'm questioning this, because me myself, perhaps Joseph is the most familiar with finance, right, from BI. So when next week there is an potential intern that shadow chapter lead, and he shadow me. So I have like nothing to show him basically if he shadow me. That's from my side. But if finance is under BI, that's okay. If we have someone that is responsible for finance basically. That's my point
Okay.
for this, sir. Yep.
So yep, yeah, Mr. Jing.
I'll update you actually on this one. So there's been an update on what finance actually means. So there's two things, right? One is an accountant. So an accountant just essentially goes around and figures out why this payment didn't go into this account, right? That's one thing. The second thing that, sorry, this discussion didn't reach you yet. The second thing was we have this talent now coming from pretty good universities. So what we decided that we wanted was to have a financial analyst. Okay. So basically, everything we do, there's a certain cost associated with it. Like this meeting has a certain cost associated with it. Working on a particular campaign has a certain cost associated with it. It also has a potential benefit financially from each particular meeting, each particular campaign. So, what we're asking the financial analyst to do, Lilith, is something new. You're not going to need to necessarily guide them too much. It'll probably be some basically you bring them to every meeting and they put a price tag to everything we do, right? They put a price tag on every campaign that we're doing. They put a price tag on every pivot that we're doing. And essentially they start calculating up, okay, how many hours have gone into this pivot? How many hours have gone into this campaign? Is it worth it? And based on that, you will get a much better picture of how to prioritize systematically across the entire company. So not just like, okay, yeah, we're spending weeks on this, but we're spending weeks on this, and this has cost like $600 already, right? In terms of total time. So should we spend any more time on it, or should we drop it? It gives you a little bit more another dimension in order to make business intelligence decisions, a dimension that was not there before. So that's all it is. It should
Hmm.
be pretty simple, Willis. So what we're asking is that the finance analyst essentially follows your journey around. They look at the time spent. They look at calendars. They look at Trello boards. They look at pivots, and then they calculate. Okay, how much time is this? What's the salary per hour on this? What are the results? And what should we do, right? Maybe we realize that, oh my God, by having so many meetings, we're costing like, hundreds of dollars each week, right? That we should actually find a way to reduce that. Stuff like that, right? So when we thought about that, that's definitely a business intelligence feature. It gives you the ability to, once again, make all the processes inside the company more efficient.
All right. So, because finance analyst, yeah, that's my. I mean, that's different with accountant. First, I heard about finance analyst. Yeah, it's related to finance things, but perhaps it's more like a system analyst, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
whole company analyst, right?
yeah. Just system analysts, and they're measuring efficiency in terms of how
A
much we're
system
spending,
analyst,
right?
yeah, in terms of cost. Yeah.
Right, which is kind of part of industrial engineering, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's why I decided. Bayu and I both said, okay, this person probably should be here. And once you have that, it becomes a pretty cool tool, right? Because you can start like looking where is the money being spent and where is the money being generated.
Okay, noted, sir.
Okay.
So it's clear from this, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, since we're out of time, but actually we have one more priority question. I motion to extend the meeting by 10 minutes perhaps at most, because I would want anyone does not agree. Forgot how to like do the motion. Okay, but actually we need to answer this one. How to motivate freelancer, because it's an important question that have been going on. I think the conversion rate is pretty low. So any ideas from anyone regarding this
And
one?
motivate freelancers. I think you have to. I don't know if this is
Actually, I
possible,
have
right?
one question.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fira.
stop.
Yep, Vera.
So what is actually the main problem of friends, or that we have to motivate them?
Okay. Yep.
Did they get any like orientation or trial like the interns did, or how? So yeah, that's my
Yeah.
question.
Maybe Moen can explain a little bit like the
Okay,
process.
so what I have is uh, what I have is on the orientation. So basically, um, tell them what kind of product that we're looking for, and then if they get the product that we're looking for, and then if when they get the product, it's our job to sell it. When it's sold, we get like 50-50 from the fee that we get from the owner. So that is my orientation. So in the orientation also I give the link of the video if for foreigner or Indonesia, also the messaging. So basically they just need if foreigner like here is the proposal in Indonesian, this is proposal in English, and they also have the video. So and also I would tell them so this is what kind of product that they should look for, and then what avoid. Basically, um, orientation how to be successful based on our needs in the company and based on the inquiry.
Okay, so yeah, that's
Oh,
the
I
gist of
see.
it. Basically, there are some trainings, and also I believe we gave the sense of urgency, right? The limited. Are there any limits for this offer, Moan? I believe it's only until November or December.
Until December.
December, right? Yeah. But at the current moment, the conversion rate is still a little bit too low. So maybe any ideas, Fira?
Oh, yeah.
Uh, I'm just thinking right now.
Okay, maybe to any other member of
Me.
the discussion. Yes, Lilis.
It's actually related to what Jings wrote on the card. We're trying to find a confessor, right? I mean, can we like offer that to the freelancers that register to Yumoayan? At least they have the interest, but
Okay. I think we need to talk about that. If it, I can also motivate them. If you're doing good, we can be hired as as part of Bukit Vista, getting paid monthly. Like, but we need to see of you quality. I can do that maybe to motivate them. I need to go out. Maybe I get hired. I don't know.
So we're moving away from a commission model to a fixed salary.
No, no. So basically, Jing is we are thinking to get like a freelancer that like like Chris like Bukit Vista freelancer like doing consistently. But since we have like people interested doing this in the beginning until December, we will basically this is their test. Like if they are
Ah, I see. I see. So,
reliable, to
yeah.
give the leads. Hey, so actually, you know what? I'm looking for like someone that reliably can give us like stream of leads. So now it's if you
Trial
get
program.
yes trial program basically.
I
So
see.
maybe moving forward that way so that maybe they motivated. Oh, maybe I get a chance, like I get a job in there. So I'm thinking that. But anybody have like any more idea?
Trial program. That's interesting. Yeah.
Okay,
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
here's my thoughts. Zooming out a little bit, let's try to pretend you're a waiter, right? Let's just say you're a waiter. You're going to work a job where you get 50% of, let's say, whatever the restaurant makes, right? Would you sign up for that? Well, what if the restaurant doesn't make anything, right? So that's kind of like a bit of an uncertainty. So I don't know if, and that's doing a waitering job, which is essentially a job that a lot of people would know how to do anyway. This is a job that, as you can probably tell through history, is highly needs a lot of training to be able to do, or needs a lot of just chutzpah, courage, shamelessness, which is something that's pretty much in short supply. So I I don't think that this is something that you can actually freelance out. It's not like, oh, here's a coin in my pocket, here you go, right? Type thing where I think freelancing, probably would work a little bit better for something that's a little bit less skilled or less like involved with self development. So this is what we're done. We're gonna post a LinkedIn job post for this, and we're gonna, yeah, like what I said, we're gonna try to hire a canvasser. The reason why is because we see that this is actually working, and it's already working between me, Rizal, and Wayana. Who am I kidding? It's mostly Wayana and Rizal, actually. So we just need to find a delegate so that they can pass this on to them. Okay, that's pretty much it. That there's no, I don't think it's going to work the other way, babe. And the time you would spend trying to figure out how to motivate somebody could be better spent just like getting somebody who can do it, right? Rather than trying to hack the whatever. So yeah, I think we just move right to a trial, and then the trials are easy. You know, if you can bring properties in, then we'll hire you. If you can't, then we won't. Simple as
Yeah.
that. And yeah, and then if they can do it consistently, then we can pay them.
Okay.
Yeah. KKK.
Okay. So that's settled then. So the initiative itself, will it be retired, sir, or will it be pivoted?
This is in HR now. So
Okay.
HR, Shaylin and Kika are working on it. They're going to take down they're going to take down the finance job listing and change it to a canvasser job listing, and we'll bring candidates just like we do for everything else. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted, sir. So yeah, all clear now, Moen.
Yes, very clear.
Okay, thank you very much, Moen. So that's actually the last discussion, and also we'll move to all the rest of the discussion for next week. But please also pitch in your ideas in the discussion board so that we can probably have a discussion without a scrum, perhaps. That's one thing. And also from Shelleen, actually, a message. Please do fill in the survey. I'll copy paste the link in the chat below. Please fill in for the SS. It's in the SS for the September, I believe. Let's help each other out for the other chapters too. Okay, thank you very much. Maybe any last thoughts from everybody else?
Oh, good.
None? Okay, then if there's none, thank you very much, everyone, and welcome to Fira. This is your first Scrum, right? Is it?
Welcome,
Was it?
Kira.
Welcome, Fira.
Thank you.
Welcome, Vera.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a good evening, and
Thank
see
you.
you.
Oh, Vidi, Lilith, stay. I'll talk to you guys for a little bit about a few things. Yeah, it shouldn't take more than
Okay,
5 minutes. Okay. Okay.
all good.